Most ACs and heat pumps are shipped with a factory charge of refrigerant. Service valves are used to hold this charge in the outdoor unit until a line set is attached at the time of installation. Once the line set is properly evacuated, the service valves can be opened, releasing the refrigerant charge into the system. The service valves also give the technician a point to attach refrigerant gauges to check pressures. The service valves can also be used to hold the refrigerant charge in the outdoor unit if repairs need to be made. There are two basic types of service valves. This is the most common type of service valve used today on ACs and heat pumps. It is a front seating and back seating valve with a Schrader valve port for connecting refrigerant gauges for testing or charging. When this type of service valve is front seated, the refrigerant charge is held in the outdoor unit. When this valve is opened or back-seated, the refrigerant charge is released into the line set, and the service port with the Schrader core is available for attaching refrigerant gauges for testing and charging. This is the second type of service valve, which generates calls to tech support, as this type of valve does not have a Schrader core in the service port. When this type of valve is front-seated or closed, the refrigerant charge is held in the outdoor unit. When the valve is back-seated or opened, the refrigerant charge is released into the system. With the valve fully back-seated, the service port is closed. To access the service port, the valve must be cracked or turned toward the front seat position to allow access with the refrigerant gauges. Once testing or charging is completed, the valve must be tightly back-seated to close off the service port. This side view of the valve gives another perspective on the way it operates. Front-seated, the refrigerant charge is closed off and held in the outdoor unit. Back-seated, the refrigerant charge is released into the line set and the indoor unit. Mid-position or cracked opens the system to the service port for servicing. Never use a drill to open these service valves. Serious personal damage can occur when using a drill to open the service valves. There have been numerous cases where techs have used a drill to open service valves and have forced the circle clip holding the valve stem in place out, and the refrigerant pressure will shoot that stem out like a bullet out of a gun. Thankfully, so far, no one has suffered serious injury. Always use a hand wrench to open service valves. A ratchet type wrench is useful to quickly open and close valves. Tech support gets calls about service valves being stripped out, and the tech is unable to open the valve. Upon investigation, we usually find that the tech has used a hex fitting that does not fit tightly into the hex of the service valve. Make sure the adapter you are using fits firmly and all the way into the hex opening on the service valve. Also make sure that you open the service valve all the way, and make sure it is tightly back-seated to avoid any leaks. Once the valve is opened and properly back-seated, the service valve cap should be tightly closed.
Go to arefco.com for more videos. Like, subscribe, and check back every week for new videos.